Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Pastor James with the elephant in the room. And believe it or not, I got my childhood friend on the line with me tonight. And we're going to just chop it up a little bit about when we was kids living in Grand Rapids, Michigan on Watkins Street. You know, we had a lot of good times. We had a whole lot of fun. There were so many things that we used to do and that we did, and we still sort of think about them things now as grown men. So sit back, relax, and get ready to listen to me and my buddy, Charles Phillips, chopping it up with the elephant in the room. How you doing, Brother Chuck?
Pretty good. Just sitting back and getting old.
Just getting old, man. Ain't that something? Oh, man, you know, we both 60 years old, man.
Yeah, we are.
You know, how long?
That's a long. Go ahead.
How that's a long time, like you said. But how long have we been friends?
Man, since child age.
It seemed like
Man,
it has been a long. It seemed like I recall meeting you when I was at least about 7 years old.
Yes, when you, I don't know who was there on the block first, but man, these had to be about that 7.
Yeah, about something around that 6, yeah, 5, 6, 7, something like that. It seemed like because I had got hit by a car. I think I was about 7 years old when I got hit by the car, and we had lived there maybe a couple years before then.
Yes, and since the car incident, man, I stayed close by you since, man, from when I heard when you got hit, that coming from the park, I think he was coming from Franklin Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how when you got hit, he was looking behind you like somebody was chasing you or something.
Exactly.
And you was not paying attention as these cars coming on the busy street of B Street.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you was looking back saying, like, it would have to be somebody chasing you or a dog or something that you was trying to hurry up and rush and get across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess not paying attention to these cars coming down that Main Street and caught you when your head was completely turned, looking like a big dog was chasing you, was scared of.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna tell the truth behind that don't nobody know. My cousin Gil was up here with us from Lansing, Michigan, and Gil had started messing with some kids at the park, some younger kids younger than us. And I wasn't messing with them, but Gil, my cousin Gil, was. Gil may hear. I'm for sure he gonna hear this, and he gonna have a flashback. But so the kids, they left, and they came back with their bigger brothers. And like you said, you noticed that my head was like I was looking back. Well, we was actually running from them, from their bigger brothers. They was chasing us, and we was actually running from them. And man, like you said, I was looking back, like, you know, trying to get away, and I just ran right in the street.
Yeah, and like, man, and that was like, man, that cost you a lot.
It did.
You had a whole full body cast.
Exactly. You know, I had a sermon that I had preached about some years ago. But I mean, not some years ago, but I did it. I believe it was probably earlier this year. But one thing that you used to do, what was it that you used to do? And see, I'm gonna see if you remember when I started back walking and started back running. What did you used to do to help me run?
Well, a support as a friend to stick by you through thick and thin to pull you through on when you didn't want to. I had to force you going for it.
Yeah.
That was my motivation.
Remember us running down the street, you holding my hand?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I used to be like trying to keep up with you, man. My legs was trying, and you be run. But the funny thing about that is we was just kids, man, and we had enough,
Man,
yeah, presence of mind, man. You cared that much to hold me by my hand, and we'd be running down the sidewalk, down the street.
true. And that's just almost like you was my baby brother,
Right,
getting you getting you back in motion, because I missed that friend I used to come down there. You was ready when we go outside and play, but now seeing you was in a totally different setup with a whole entire body cast, I was like, wow. And just to see you like that was like a hurting feeling. Just like, oh my goodness, things can happen that bad, but when you get hit by something with some metal and that don't break,
right,
bone bone will break.
right, right, right.
And so and that was just to see a friend like that when we was growing up, like, I can just see you just when we used to do it, you laying up, and I know your mind wanted to get up and like to come outside with me, and I just stayed there 4 or 5 hours or longer, or spend the night, and just was by your side till you came up to get back so we can play and run down the street and do what we was doing.
A lot of folks they can't say that they had a friend for life. But I could truly say that, you have been my boy, man. Been my friend for
Yeah,
life. You was my best man the first time I got married.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow. That's when a friend be a friend for life.
Right, right.
It was like, man, and it's still now we 60. It's just
That-
how life can change.
yeah, man, that it's crazy. I've been out here in Richmond, Virginia. Man, I've been out here for probably about 30 years now. It's kind of weird
Man,
to think, man, that when I left Grand Rapids, I had to been at least 30. It don't seem like I was that young.
it's, it just seems like I don't know. Time do fly. It's like, man, he's like, man, it went that fast.
It went by quick, man. We used to get, I try to keep it clean on the elephant in the room. Majority of the time when I'm on the elephant in the room, I'm talking about a lot of stuff that people don't really want to talk about, hurtful, painful stuff. But, I just figured, tonight we'll do a little something different. We'll talk about a little something different. And your friendship, man. We've been friends forever, man. That's something that a lot of people can't say that they have a friend in their life ever since they were 7 years old, all the way up until today.
And then the killing, but we still living.
Yeah, we still living. We still living. I don't personally. I don't plan on leaving until I'm probably in my mid 80s, close to 90.
Yeah, that's what I'm praying and hoping for.
So we probably could rehash this thing in another 30 years from now and do this when we like 90.
Yes. Yeah, that will be a nice blessing, though.
You know. But let me ask you this question then, brother. Like I said, we both 60 now. What are some of the things that you can't do now that you used to could do back then?
Well, I used to can do a lot of running,
Mhm.
just for my endurance of my wind and uh like back then we used to climb a lot on roofs and
Oh,
climbing
yeah.
trees
Oh, yeah.
and et cetera. And then, it's now since I had slipped and fell and fell on my behind. And it seemed like I went to the doctor and it's been 2 years now.
Mhm.
It seems that pain don't want to leave now. And then I went to the doctor. They said, no, I'm getting some arthritis in that hip bone.
Mm. Mm.
And so now it's really slowing me up. I can't really kind of, if I sit on that same hip for a certain period of time, it seems like I can't even move after it.
Man, that's so unreal to hear because I remember when you was young, when we was young. You was that dude, man, that everybody wanted to be like. You was fast, you was strong, and I mean, you didn't even act like you was the height that you was, man. And everybody wanted to be like you. They wanted to be fast, wanted to be strong. But to see us now, man, I remember back in the day, I was benching almost 500 at one point. Man,
See?
that's long gone.
And so it's just like I was hearing that when you get old, it's just like a fast car. The motor running good. Once the motor start getting old, it slows down
Right, right.
and breaks down. And I'm like, man, that's how my body be feeling like it's starting to break a little bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I told my wife, I said, you know, you know, you don't know how much time you got left on this side. And it's been about 30 years since I saw you, brother. And I said, maybe I'm gonna probably try to work my way down there to Michigan and come see you, man.
Yeah, vice versa. We trying to work up that way.
Uh-huh.
Because last year we went down to Memphis, Tennessee, in Oxford, Mississippi,
Uh-huh.
last year.
Uh-huh.
And so now sh- my, my girl got a sister
Uh-huh.
moved down and a brother down, down there where you at.
Okay.
And, and we might this year, how things go, trying to float that way.
Okay. Okay.
Down to Virginia. I want to see how it look down through that area.
Man, it's nice down here. I call Richmond a country city, really. Because you get outside the city, it ain't nothing but country.
Okay.
But it's cool, man. I done got adjusted to the Confederacy of the South, the capital of the South. I've gotten used to it. There's no big thing, down here for me. But I want to ask you one question, and see what your answer would be. If you can go back
Okay.
30 years, what would you change as opposed to today? If you can go back 30 years, what would you change? What would you do different?
Ooh, what I do different? Uh, I think be a better person and just uh, well, see, I got some young kids. I did that 30 years late.
All right. All right. Uh,
Because my kids, since I'm in my 60s, I got a young daughter.
uh-huh.
You, she just turned 5.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
and
Oh my God.
then my second kid, he just turned 9.
Oh. So
You know?
you gotta stay young for them, man.
Yeah. Now, 30 years, as you said, I wish I'd had my kids 30 years.
Uh,
Like I'm supposed to, so they would have been now 30 years from now, and they would have been in their teens.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All my
That's
kids is
that's
grown.
you see. Now I'm 30 years. Now I wish I'd have had them 30 years, so
Mm,
they would have been grown.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then I'd have been probably working on some grandkids.
Yeah, I got all my kids is grown and I got let's see, two uh let's see, two, three, four, five. I believe five or six. Five grandchildren.
Okay.
No, six. I missed one. I got six grandchildren. But yeah, man, I think the only thing I'm probably like you. The only thing that I would change is maybe some of the things that I'm doing now. I probably would have done it earlier. Some of the things that I do now, I probably would have settled down and did it a whole lot sooner, as opposed to a whole lot later.
Yeah, that's what about the kids. That's what I should have did.
Well, we got
But
about. Go
I
ahead.
I was feeling the kid my darn self, really.
Right, right, right. You still was a kid yourself, right?
Yeah.
We used to do some crazy stuff, man. I ain't gonna get all into the things that we used to do back in the day, man. We used to do
Yeah.
some crazy, crazy things, man. And to even think some of the things that we used to do back then, and now I'm a preacher, man. It's insane. But they said that a hard rock got to be chiseled into a diamond. A hard stone chiseled into a diamond. So there you go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Great.
I'm gonna let you do this because I'm gonna set this up, and I want your kids to hear this. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to give a shout out to all your kids before we go.
Oh, mine is asleep right now.
Uh, you can just give a shout out by name.
Oh, the shout out is Chimea. That's my baby girl. And I got the second boy is Charlie. And the big boy is Charles Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the senior,
Okay.
Charles Philip.
Okay. Well, everybody, as I said before, that was just a different twist on Elephant in the Room. We sometimes forget the important things because we be chasing after everything else. But what could be more important than capturing a lifelong friend in conversation on your podcast? What could be more important than that? There was a lot of things that me and Charles did as kids. There was a whole lot of things that we do even now as adults. When I don't talk to him for a few days, I get a little concerned. When he don't talk to me for a few days, I'm sure he gets a little concerned as well. But God brought us in this thing together, and our friendship will last forever. This is Pastor James, Elephant in the Room.